Hi everyone, thank you for coming to my channel, D versus Debt. This is Dee. I am a college teacher turned college student for this academic year while I'm on sabbatical, which means that I'm living on an even tighter budget than normal. So I've paid off over $60,000 since starting my debt-free journey, and so this year is especially challenging because I'm working with, a much smaller budget. So I wanted to show you something that I was very excited to put together. So Lisa from Beautifully Me and You, I'm going to insert her pictures. I'm also going to be adding a link to my description box to the particular video that I watched on how to do this. She made an excellent tutorial on how to put together your 100 envelope challenge box. So there's a lot of people in the debt-free community and the budgeting community that are doing the 100 envelope challenge, which basically helps you save $5,050 if you play it the regular way. And there are different ways to play the challenge, but she did such a great job that I got right to work on it. I got so fired up and I made my challenge box. However, now I understand why people charge so much for those, because it is a labor of love. It's very time intensive. It took me, I think, almost 8 hours to finish this, and I was sweating and my back was hurting and I was a mess putting this thing together. But I'm excited to start using it. So this particular challenge box cost me basically a couple of bucks. I put it together using dollar store items, so I wanted to show you some tips on how to put yours together if you're up for the challenge of making one for yourself. So the box that the envelopes are in is from Dollar Tree. It is a pretty petite box. It's smaller than other ones I've seen like at Walmart and Staples and other places, but it's $1, so you can't beat that. So that's from Dollar Tree. And then this paper pad is from Dollar General. So I like to shop at Dollar General on Saturdays because most of the time they have a $5 off $25 coupon. So if you spend more than $25, you automatically get $5 deducted. So me being me, I like to spend as close to $25 as possible. Sometimes I've even gotten it to like $25.10. Because then basically that means it's a 20% off coupon. So this particular pad of paper was less than $3 full price. It was like $2.75 minus the 20%. You're looking at a pretty good deal on this paper. It's 20 sheets and I use less than half, so it's about $1 investment. So $1 for the paper, $1 for the box, and then the other supplies I had handy, like the laminating sheets, the stickers for the numbers. So let me show you basically what they look like, and then kind of give you an idea of how the challenge works. So the colors that come in this particular pad, you've got a patterned reddish color and then a plain one. You've got the patterned green and then the solid. You've got the orange and then the solid. And then there's the 2 purple patterns. And then there's like the teal aqua colors. So those are the 5 colors, pattern and solid. So I think they came out really cute. I happen to have a bunch of number stickers laying around left over from my planner stash, so I use them up on this, but you can just use a permanent marker to write on this because it is laminate. These are smaller than usual. Again, this is a smaller box than usual, so because of that I had to fold my money into quarters basically to get it to fit inside the envelope. So you slide it into your envelope, put it into your box, and then shuffle it away. The way you play this though is you don't keep your envelopes in order 1 to 100. You shuffle them around and then out of order, and then you randomly pick out a number. So like, let's say these are all shuffled out of order, and then you draw number 44. So that means you have to stuff $45 into that envelope before you put it back into the box. For mine, I put the money in sideways. And this is because I like to hide my money. A lot of people put the cut at the top, the opening at the top, so you can see the money popping out. And so as you look down into your envelope, into your challenge box, you can see which envelopes are filled and which ones are empty. So for me, however, I don't live in the best neighborhood, so I like to stash my money. I don't want to make it obvious that this is a box of money, especially if I was playing the typical one that you save over $5,000. I'm not comfortable having $5,000 in my house in cash just laying around. And I also don't want to make it obvious that there's a bunch of money in a box sitting around in my house. I don't live in the best neighborhood. So for example, having a bunch of cops and sheriffs and stuff across the street from my house, arresting people and all of that, is a pretty common occurrence. In fact, I've had people arrested on my front lawn that they chased onto my lawn and arrested them there. And there I was glued to my window watching the whole thing go down. So I don't feel comfortable having that much money. So I play alternate versions of the challenge, or I will be playing alternate versions so that I don't have that much money in my house in case somebody decides to break in. So anyways, this is the size in the tutorial that I followed. However, I thought because I have to fold the bill in half twice to stuff it in here, it's gonna fill up this box pretty quick. In fact, I might run out of room. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna make the envelopes a little bit bigger. And I decided, once I recuperated from making this box, I decided, okay, let's make a second one. So I decided to start making envelopes that were a bit bigger. I found a bigger box, and so I decided to cut my envelopes a bit larger. So that means that I would only have to fold my bill in half, and then I would stick it in here. And as you can see, the bill is in there, nice and centered, and it doesn't take up much space because it's only folded in half. That means it won't take up as much when it starts filling with money. However, when I got into this, I was only a few envelopes in and I broke my dang laminator. So I was just ready to flip a table by that point. And I thought, no, that's it. That's it for me. So again, I can see why people charge so much for these when you look them up on Etsy and such, because it is a tedious task, a time-intensive task. So I wanted to show you some printables that I have for this challenge. So if you go onto my Etsy shop, you can find each of these listed for $1.25 each if you're playing the challenge yourself. So this first one, they all come with a set of instructions on how to play the game. The regular one where you save up $5,050, or an alternate version, which is what I'm going to be doing. So for example, let's say instead of filling it in, for example, I drew number 17, so that means I have to put $17 into that envelope. Then I drew 74, and I have to put 74 into that envelope. That's a regular way of playing it. For me, I'm going to do it the alternate way, which I explain here, was where I take $5 and stuff 100 envelopes with my 5. So that means I saved up $500. Or if I'm trying to save up for my $1,000 emergency fund, for those of you that are following the Dave Ramsey method for the baby steps, then that means I would put $10 into each envelope. And at the end, when I have all my envelopes filled, I have my $1,000 saved up for my emergency fund. So for this one, then you would color in the little, thing inside the envelope and the number itself, if this is one you like. The other one I have is these mugs, and so you color in your mugs as you're filling in your envelopes. This one is more like coloring book style, so you would color in the box, but you can also color in the outside, the pattern on the outside, which in this case happens to be a rose outline. This one reminds me of my zebra background that I use for my videos. So this one is a swirl pattern, and because it is Friday, that means it's Freebie Friday, so I'm going to be giving you this one for free. So this is listed in my Etsy shop for $1.25, but I'm going to put a link in my description box where you can have it for free just by clicking on the link, and then you can print it from there. So this one makes me smile because it reminds me of Dalmatian dots. And so for me, the movie Cruella that just came out has good memories because it was the first time I was in a theater since everything, had closed down. So it was my first time in the theater in almost a couple of years. And it was such a good movie. I'm not really into Disney movies, and I'm not a fashionista at all, in the least. But it was such a great movie. I had such a good time watching it. So this reminds me of Cruella. In this case, you can be Cashella, or you can be Savella, whatever you want to call yourself as you're using this to save up your money for your 100 envelope challenge. So again, the link to the printable is going to be in my description box, and it'll be free as my little Freebie Friday present. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. One last tip that I'm going to give you is, if you do make these envelopes yourself, laminate can be very sharp. So let me show you, for example, one that's not rounded. I don't know if you can see it, but the corners on laminate is really, really sharp. So what I like to use is this corner rounder that I bought at Hobby Lobby. It was 50% off, so at the time I think it came out to like $3, $2. But basically all you do is you put in your envelope and you snap it, and it rounds the corner for you so that you can no longer accidentally stab yourself with your cash envelope and draw blood while you're doing your challenge. So again, it makes a big difference for me to round the corners. I think it's just so, it looks so much nicer, and you don't have to worry about poking yourself. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video.